Now, I'd like to welcome Prashant Solanki sir is a renowned faculty of English and has taught lakhs of students through Ranku's Gurukul YouTube channel. He cleared CPO 2017 exam with an All India rank 29 and got selected as a sub-inspector in Delhi Police. He topped CPO Mains 2017 with 195 marks. He also qualified many other exams like SSC CGL, CHSL and IB EasyIO. I'd like to welcome you, sir, onto the stage.
Please, sir. Honoring ചടങ്ങിലേക്ക് വരാന റേസിന്റെ സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയ ഹെഡ് മിസ്റ്റർ ബ്രൈറ്റൻ സാറിനെ ക്ഷണിച്ചോളൂ.
So hello and good afternoon everyone. How are you guys? So question and answer session has already been taken by Aditya sir. So I won't be taking any questions. So I will be talking briefly about all the struggles that you face and how to overcome those struggles. And apart from that, I will also be talking about English, the subject, how to prepare that, and different sections and different strategies for those sections. So first of all, I would like to thank all of you to invite me here. I feel truly honored to be here today because Kerala is different. Here, as far as I have heard about the people here, their resilience, their focus, they are dedicated. Here, literacy is a tradition and learning is a culture. So I truly feel honored. Thank you so much for inviting me here. So first of all, I will talk briefly about myself. So as you know, I am Prashant Solanki and I have cracked multiple exams before starting teaching English. So those exams include SSC CGL, SSC CHSL, and of course SSC CPO, in which I got All India rank 29 and also topped the mains exam. Apart from cracking those exams, I also scored 50 out of 50 marks in maths, reasoning, English. Obviously not in GS because that was my weakest part. So GS I scored somewhat 32 marks, I guess, because the last CGL that I gave, I scored 182 marks, raw marks. CGL 2018, I guess. So that was my last score. I worked in Delhi Police for about 2.5 years, and after that, something inside me just kept pushing me. This is not the place you should be. So anyhow I gathered courage and quit my job and started teaching. And from thereafter, I have been teaching students. I have mentored thousands of students across India, and I have got this privilege at a very tender age, I can say. You can look at my face. You will find many people might feel that I am younger than you, but I truly feel honored that I have got this privilege at a very tender age. So thank you so much for all the love and support. Before I speak about the success and how to succeed, I will also want to talk about the struggles that we face. Sometimes we feel that we are the only person facing all these struggles, all these challenges. But one thing we need to remember is every student, everyone starts as an ordinary student with extraordinary dreams. And for those extraordinary dreams, we have to work hard. We will definitely face challenges, but during those challenges, we need to keep calm. We need to keep motivating ourselves that success isn't something that is waiting in front of us. Success is something we are building within ourselves. So success isn't something that we will find by chance. Success is something that is achieved by hard work only, and that too consistent hard work. You need to remember, success doesn't come like one day you study for 20 hours and the next day 2 hours. Consistency is the key. So that's why I mentioned consistent hard work. Consistent hard work is the key. And during my days, I also faced these challenges. These challenges are not new to anyone. If you talk to anyone who cracked any exam, that person will definitely talk about those challenges. So I would say, if you are facing any kind of challenges, I have heard you ask different questions. And I was feeling like कि यार ये exactly वही चीज़ हैं जो मैं face किया करता था. So these are the same challenges that I faced, Aditya sir faced, or even whoever cracked this exam must have faced these challenges. So I would say, keep going, keep pushing, and you will one day succeed. The day when that list comes and you find your name on that list, everything changes. Literally everything changes. Everything starts to make sense. Those sacrifices that we make, those struggles that we go through, everything makes sense. And we start feeling that yes, it took us time, but it's worth it. And this is a feeling we work for. And that day you will realize your parents will be crying, not due to pain, but due to the happiness that you have given to them. And they will be smiling with heart, not on the face, because you will find tears on the face, but a smile in the heart. So I would say, just keep pushing. So now I will briefly talk about the distractions that we generally face. First of all, the major distraction is within our pocket. You can easily understand. We waste hours, literally hours. Sometimes scrolling Instagram reels, sometimes reading unnecessary messages, sometimes watching random YouTube videos, and we don't even realize. For this, I would suggest you need to keep your one app called Digital Wellbeing. So Digital Wellbeing, you need to monitor your daily activity on your phone. Screen time should be limited. You can limit your screen time by devoting certain minutes, like 15 minutes to WhatsApp, like 20 minutes to Instagram, and that's the upper limit. Don't think कि WhatsApp, यार 1 घंटे WhatsApp तो कर ही सकते हैं क्योंकि हम तो कुछ और करते ही नहीं. So don't get this feeling. So WhatsApp, I guess, in your age, 15 to 20 minutes. Instagram, 15 to 20 minutes. YouTube, you can manage because you must be watching some classes on YouTube as well. So YouTube, you can manage according to your needs. But yes, for random videos, that time should be limited to 20 to 25 minutes only. Apart from this, one major distraction is self-doubt. Sometimes we feel, should we clear it? Do we have that something inside us? But believe me, everyone, literally everyone has these fears, has these doubts. You need to keep pushing. These doubts are not new. Another distraction can be when we learn something and obviously we forget, because not everyone can be Swami Vivekananda. So obviously we forget, but sometimes we feel that I am the only person forgetting, and this is my friend. He studies for 10 hours and he remembers everything. But this is not the case. That person must be revising things 5 times, 7 times, and sometimes 20 times, 25 times. Initially, my English was very weak because I literally belong to Hindi medium background. And if I share my English marks in 10th standard, I scored 43 marks out of 100 in 10th and 45 marks out of 100 in 12th in English subject. And from there I started, and when I started preparing for SSC exams, I scored roughly 2-3 marks out of 50 in English section. But I kept pushing, and the day came. Yes, it came after so many years, I can say. So many, not at least 2-3 years. I took 2 to 3 years before cracking the exam. So, but once I scored 50 in English, I got the confidence that I can now crack any exam. So if I can, you can also. If I can do it, you can also do it. Initially, English seems like a fear, but just revision. Revision is the key. Let me tell you again, revision is the key. We feel like पढ़ तो लिया 2 बार 3 बार 2 times 3 times, but 2 times 3 times sometimes is not enough. We need to keep revising. We need to keep pushing ourselves. So if I can talk about English, you can divide English in 3 parts. One is vocabulary, another is grammar, and the other is comprehension. Initially, I would suggest you start with 2 sections, grammar and vocabulary. Parallelly, you can go. For vocabulary, you can give 1 hour daily, preferably in the morning. 1 hour daily, like you can set a limit according to your capabilities. Someone may remember 60 words in an hour, and someone else may remember only 10 words in 60 minutes. So as per your ability, set a target that I will be studying vocabulary for these 60 minutes and I will be learning these 40 new words. 40 is a good number if you can remember those many. If you cannot remember 40, you can try for 30, 25 or even 20. And after that, you need to revise multiple times. I would suggest once you study new words in the morning, at least keep 3 slots of 10 minutes each in the afternoon, in the evening, and at night before going to bed. So that whatever you studied in the morning, you can revise those words. So once you revise in the morning once and 3 times revision, so at least you studied a word 4 times. That will make you remember at least 60% of the words. In one go, you can, if you are able to remember even 50% of the words, I would say that's a good number. Because after that, you need to revise again and again. And for some words, you need to invent some tricks. You need to fabricate some stories related to that word. You need to remember root words. So vocabulary, I can say this is the strategy. First of all, pick a book. Vocab Sanjeevani is your book. So you can pick a book, just make a target, 40 words a day, revise again and again, again and again. The remaining words, you can just create your own tricks, mnemonics, picturization, stories, or root words. Any tricks can work for you. Different tricks work for different person. If you are depending on somebody that this person will teach me some tricks and I will remember those tricks, I would say if you are struggling to remember a simple word, you will definitely struggle to remember those tricks, because those tricks are not made by you. Those are made by somebody else, and that person will remember those tricks, but not you. So you need to make your own tricks, your own stories. So this is for vocabulary part. For grammar, I would suggest start with basics. Most of people lack here. Actually, we start learning rules after rule, rule after rule, rule after rule, but that doesn't work. Competitive English requires you to study every aspect of the subject. You need to study every aspect of the subject. So first of all, start with the basics, learn parts of speech, and if you know the basics, you will not be depending on tricks like let me ask you a question. If I say please come in and I ask you what is the part of speech of the word in, so most of people would say in is the preposition, because since childhood we have been habitual, because in generally used as a preposition, but here in is not a preposition. And let me tell you, such questions are asked in SSC CGL 2025. So if you are preparing for SSC CGL or any SSC exam for that matter, you need to understand these basics. If you remember one thing, a preposition needs an object. A conjunction generally needs a clause after it. A clause consists of a subject and a verb. And an adverb generally doesn't need anything after it. So if I say please come in, Did I use any word after in? No. The sentence ends with in, so there is no object after in. There is no clause after in. So that word in cannot be a preposition. It cannot be a conjunction. So obviously, it is an adverb working as a place. Please come in. Here, come in. In means under. You need to come inside. But when I say he is in the room, he is in the room, here in is followed by room. So room is a noun, and a noun can become an object. Because room is an object here, so in becomes a preposition. So if I can explain these basics verbally, so you just need to study these basics once, and you will be very comfortable with all these things. So first of all, I would say start with basics and then go to each chapter, study each chapter, revise multiple times, and start practicing chapter wise. Once you practice chapter wise, you need to practice as many questions as you can, because sometimes we directly jump to miscellaneous questions and we find confusion in our mind. When we practice chapter wise, our mindset is, because we are practicing noun questions, we just need to look at nouns. If we are practicing subject verb agreement questions, we just look at subject and verb relation. So mindset is what makes us paralyzed actually, because you need to remember, when we practice chapter wise questions, first of all, what we need to put aside is the mindset that we are practicing this particular chapter. We need to take a sentence and analyze that sentence. This is the subject, this is the helping verb, this is the main verb, and after main verb, we have used an object or a complement. So I would say you need to learn the basics. If you practice this way, if you break each and every sentence, whatever chapter you are learning doesn't matter. You are learning complete English with one sentence. So you need to adapt yourself as per need. So you need to adopt this habit of breaking sentences, and this habit will be adopted only if you know the basics. So first basics, then chapters, and then miscellaneous practice. Once you complete 50% of your syllabus in grammar, I would suggest now you should start reading as much stories, editorials, anything. So you need to start reading as much as you can. For reading purpose, I also provide the Hindu editorials. Mainly it is for Hindi medium, but obviously English editorial is also there. So you can find that editorial very, very helpful. So the Hindu editorial is a good source for reading. Even your NCERT books, and NCERT books 7th, 8th and 9th. I won't suggest going for 10th, 11th, 12th, because that's not relevant for us. So if we study 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, so that will also help us in GS section. So you can study those sources. So for reading, for comprehension section, I would suggest read as much as you can, and also watch my classes, PQRS. I have developed tricks and tips using which you can easily solve all the PQRS questions within seconds. Recently, SSC conducted SSC CGL 2025 exam, and all the parajumble questions, PQRS questions, were solved by using those tricks within seconds. So everything seems difficult unless and until we learn it. Once we learn it, once we master it, everything seems easy. And this is why we feel toppers are different. They are not different. They learned differently. They studied differently. And we need to change certain ways. We need to change certain habits, and everything will be easy. So these are all three parts. And after reading all these parts, you can just take mock tests. And each and every mock test needs to be analyzed. I should say you should devote at least 2 times the time you devoted taking the mock test. if the mock test is of 1 hour, you should devote at least 2 hours on analyzing that mock test, because first you analyze the mock test, and as Aditya sir suggested, first you analyze the mock test and then you make your own notes from that, and notes not for learning something, notes for this is my weak point, and if I score 120 marks today, I should target these are 15 or 20 marks. If I work on these marks for next 5-6 days, I will be able to score 130-135 marks, because I am already at 120. And if I rigorously prepare for these 15 marks, at least I will be able to score 130. So this way, everything gets revised again and again, and all the weak points will be covered. So this is my strategy, and I would say you should follow whatever you liked, and you should avoid whatever you felt this is not my type of strategy. So this is all I wanted to say, and I also want to thank all of you, and I also want to thank Veranda Race SSC, because they provided us with an opportunity so that we can interact with you. And I would also like to capture this sweet memory with me. So in my phone, I would like all of you to please rise on your seats so that I can take a selfie. Please.